I'm ready to slash and burn.
No quarter. I am going to be uncomfortable and all over you from start to finish.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Outside of the Box. And this was recorded ahead of time, so if you're watching this, it's Saturday, and I'm in Norwalk, and I'm competing with my own robot. But today, I have someone who has competed at Norwalk, who had a great showing at RoboGames this season. Nick from Manta, who is a big up and coming robot. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, for people who don't know you, tell me a little bit about your background in combat robotics.
So, I've been competing for 8 years, quite a long time actually. My first event was RoboGames in 2018. I went 2017. 2017. To kind of just look around, get a gist of like what the sport is, because I saw it on TV on Killer Robots when it was on Science Channel, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. And that night when I was like 13 or so, I think I built a cardboard model of Minotaur, and so ever since then I've been hooked. And I went to RoboGames, I saw what everyone was doing, how they were doing it, and then next year I came back with my first 1-pounder Maverick, and I competed in the junior airweight division. And I did okay and not that great. And then I came back the next year, and then I actually came back with Tsunami, and I won first place in juniors. And then from then on, it's just been a wild ride. So many events. Unfortunately, RoboGames stopped happening, but now it's back, thankfully. But yeah, I've competed all over the nation, been to Norwalk, and then eventually I got picked up by Team Malice, which was really exciting. And so I've just been on their team for 3 years now, and now I'm kind of branching off and doing my own heavyweight. It's just been really fun.
Yeah, that experience has to be really valuable. And I mean, Bunny is such a great person to work with, and just has a lot of knowledge. So, how was that like learning from such amazing team members on Malice?
It's so amazing. Like, I'm forever grateful for Bunny and David too. Like, they're both so amazing, and they've kind of just like took me in under their wing, and I learned so much about the sport and about BattleBots, and like I just couldn't thank them enough for all they've done for me. Like, it's just so amazing to be on their team, and the opportunity is just really crazy, and I'm just so glad it went the way it did. And then being on Malice gave me such an understanding of the heavyweight scale robots, because I never really worked on heavyweights until I was on Malice. And it's just like invaluable information you get from working on a heavyweight. And I think it just helped me like propel my career in the heavyweights like tenfold. Like, it was just so valuable. Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah, definitely. And so, obvious now you have Manta, and I thought it was interesting that you mentioned, when you first started watching robots, that you were interested in Minotaur, because you have a drum type of weapon on Manta. Was that influenced by Minotaur?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, Minotaur is probably my all-time favorite robot. When I saw it on TV first, I was like, this is it. Like, this is the design that I love. Like, this is what's sticking with me, and that's all I've done pretty much for my entire like combat robot careers. Make drums. I made a shell spinner and some wacky horizontal spinners before, but it's mainly been drums, and I've just been sticking with that, refining the design. And yeah, it just like talks to me. The drum design is I think it's the most fun. Like, it's just like such a massive weapon on the front of the robot, and then you don't have to armor the front really, because the whole weapon is like the front. So it just speaks to me, and I love the drum design, and that's what I've been designing.
Yeah, absolutely. As a fan of Minotaur from the beginning, you don't have to convince me of how great of a robot it is. It's
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal, and that's great that you went with that design. Now, RoboGames. So it is pretty impressive, looking back on that when you look at what Manta was able to do. I mean, you beat, Ray Billings, you beat Terror Tops, which is a really great other up and coming robot. You beat Ziggy Jr., White Rabbit, like just amazing that you were able to do that. So, kind of talk about that experience at RoboGames.
Yeah, okay, so going into RoboGames, I really just went there to test Manta. The only thing I hit prior to RoboGames was my garage floor with that robot, and that's the extent of the testing. I spun it up, I drove it around, but besides that, I didn't have time or the capabilities to test it. So going into RoboGames, I was just happy that I would get 2 hits at least, because I was also worried my drum would crack. So I had 2 drums, and I just wanted 2 good hits. And so as the more the competition went on, I was like, oh my God, there's no way this is happening. Like, like I'm just waiting it for it to just stop working completely. But it didn't. And I just feel so lucky. And I mean, it's been 2 years of designing that robot. So it's just so much preparation, and I just couldn't be happier to see it work the way it did. It was just a huge relief, and like just such a crazy moment to see it win a competition on its first run. I just can't believe it still, even now. It's hard to believe, but yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing. And some people may not realize that the work that goes into the heavyweights, that this is not something that you put together overnight. This is it is months and years in development to get this type of robot.
Yeah, definitely. There's been Well, so a lot of people know Drago, which is what I applied to BattleBots with last year, and even that robot was a completely different robot than Manta. They look alike, but down to almost every single thing, it's a whole different CAD model. Like everything is different, portions are different, components are different, and I've had a ton of those. Like there have been 5 different renditions of Manta over 2 years that I've just been designing, staring at my screen for hours, trying to think what could go wrong, redesigning, and then yeah, just 2 years of that. And I finally stopped on this final design, and then I spent the last 6 months building it, and now we have Manta. So yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, obviously you weren't successful applying to BattleBots the past season,
Mhm.
but after that showing of at RoboGames, I mean, there's obviously no guarantee, but it sounds much more likely that you might get noticed a little bit for the next season of BattleBots.
Yeah, there's no guarantee. Nothing's 100% yet, but I feel much better this season going into my application. And I kind of took a gamble, as in I built the robot before I got accepted, or before I even applied this. I still work on the application this year, actually. Just get like I'm still painting it, touching it up, getting it pristine again from RoboGames. But yeah, I took a gamble with building it before getting accepted, or even season 8 getting like 100% confirmed either. But I just knew I wanted to build this robot, and I knew it would do well, and I thought a lot of people would like it, so I did it. And so far, it's already been worth it. Like just like everything has been amazing. Just the experience of building a big robot has been fun. So even if I don't get it, I'm still happy. But yeah, hopefully this year it'll go different from last year.
Yes, absolutely. And I have to ask because obviously you've spent some time at Norwalk too, which is like the pinnacle for the smaller bots
Yeah.
at this point. What are the big differences for you working with those smaller ones there versus working on a heavyweight potentially for BattleBots?
I mean, it's pretty different. It's just the overall workload is the big thing, and the main thing that like to adjust something on a little robot could take an hour, whereas to do the same thing on a big robot could just take like a couple of days. Like the workload is just like way bigger. Things take more time. Things are obviously much more expensive. So then you have to figure out the finances, where you don't really have to worry about that on a smaller robot. But yeah, it's a lot bigger. but also the payoff's a lot bigger too. So, you know, they go hand in hand.
Right, exactly. Well, that is awesome. I mean, obviously, we hope to see Manta at BattleBots for the next season, and you know, if not, you know, that you'll keep building, you'll keep entering these competitions and things
Yeah,
like
sure.
that, because you've had success, and you know, I think everyone wants to keep seeing you being successful.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah. Even if I don't get in next season, I'm still gonna do whatever I can with Manta, you know, bring it to different events. Hopefully RoboGames is on next year and maybe some other heavyweight events pop up, hopefully. Um, but yeah, I'll keep competing. Totally. Yeah.
Well,
Don't think it's
yes.
stopping anytime soon.
Yes, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's great. I definitely look forward to seeing more of what you do. And we'll see how the year progresses. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show, because I think everybody gets excited about, you know, what's going to be the next big robot. And I mean, I personally think that it could be Manta. So
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah. I hope so too. That'd be pretty cool.
yes, absolutely. So you know, for everybody that's watching, um, keep supporting wonderful robots like this, and you know, because we want to see some cool stuff on BattleBots in the future. And obviously, keep watching the show, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, comment, give your feedback, and we'll just keep doing wonderful interviews like this. So we'll see everybody next time on the show.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks.